backfield, one of the best runners in the Big 12.
Reese Smith in motion. Back to the air. And a first down, Bryce Ford Wheaton. He had a big game in the Iowa State win, a gain of 13. Little extracurriculars on the sideline. This Texas defense, Mike, missing a key player at every level. Demarion Overshone, their leading tackler, is out today. Jacoby Jones, their best pass rusher, he's been out for the season. And now you're down Josh Thompson, your best cover corner, also out for the year.
It's been a difficult run, and tackling, like you saw on that last play, a huge part of Texas's woes this year.
Screen to Letty Brown, and he fights his way inside the 35 of Texas.
Anish Pete Kwiatkowski in this Texas defense sit back and play a lot of cover two. If you've watched the NFL, any of the Kansas City Chiefs, you've heard about that being used to take away big plays for an offense. So what have we seen for West Virginia to start this game? Relying on the quick and intermediate passing game to try and move the ball downfield.
Texas told us they had to be wary of the screen. Pressure off the edge. Doege gets rid of it, finds Brown, who makes the catch. Only got a yard. He stepped out of bounds right at the 34-yard line. You saw where Jarret Doege can sometimes get into trouble. That clock in his head. Sometimes the pressure comes. Even if he has time, he's not decisive.
And that's when we talked to their offensive coordinator, Jared Parker, about getting him to just turn the ball loose on time when he sees it. And part of that is this 4 and 5 wide sets where the picture of defenses gets spread out.
3rd down and 5, likely 4-down territory from here. Little RPO action. And that is Sam James for another Mountaineer first down. And a good-looking opening drive continues after a gain of 11.
They motion the running back as we see a player down for the Longhorns right now.
It's Deshaun Jamison, and remember, he's their other starting corner. Josh Thompson is out. Texas has a little more depth in the defensive backfield, but Jamison also a big part of their special teams play. He's a weapon in the punt game and the kick game.
One of just 5 players in Texas history with a punt return.
Where great expectations grow and rewards are given to the swift, the perceptive, and the daring. The Mazda CX-30 Turbo with all-wheel drive. More power for your pursuit.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because as a fiduciary, it's our responsibility to always put clients first.
So you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. We help clients enjoy a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility.
One that we don't take lightly. It's why our fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. Fisher Investments is clearly different.
No one knows where it comes from. Why some have it and some don't. It's the fighting spirit. It consumes fear and weakness. It stands ready to fight whatever shape the battle takes. Because as long as there are battles, there will always be Marines.
After the past year-ish, everyone deserves something new. So, AT&T is giving everyone our best deals on every iPhone, including the iPhone 13 Pro with its amazing camera. Like everyone that worked from home or welcomed a new family member.
They're all out of dogs.
Our deals are for everyone.
It's not complicated. AT&T is giving new and existing customers our best deals on every iPhone, including up to $1,000 off the Epic iPhone 13 Pro.
New upgraded Axe body wash.
Hey, how you doing, baby?
Keeps you clean and smelling refreshed for 12 hours.
Here we go. Halfway through the NFL's biggest season ever. Stay tuned.
Six straight pass plays for West Virginia. We expect to see a heavy dose of Leddie Brown now inside the 25. In the 3 FBS wins, he's been terrific, like the first team all-conference rusher he was last year. In the 6 losses, West Virginia has struggled to run the football.
He's the leader and the heart and soul of this rushing attack.
And he gets his first carry and bottled up for a loss. Jalen Ford making the tackle. A loss of a yard by the second-year freshman who has loads of potential.
And going to be one of the guys tasked with replacing DeMarvion Overshawn. You see him show up on tape a lot. Fast, athletic, going to be a factor as they get to third downs and trying to manufacture a pass rush for a Texas defense with only 16 sacks this season.
There's Brown again. He's been fighting through some injuries as well. Up to the 20-yard line, it sets up 3rd down and 6. Both of these teams banged up, short-handed. There is a last man standing feel to this ball game.
It's been a war of attrition on both sides for these guys, and you're going to see West Virginia again spread things out for Jarret Doege here. Try and get some motion to see if you can identify man or zone as coverage shrinks down in the red area.
West Virginia just 25% on 3rd downs in its last 2 games. Doege to the air, over the middle, it's caught by James. Touchdown, West Virginia. Neal Brown put that opening drive in the hands of his much maligned quarterback, and Jarret Doege goes 6 for 7 and finds James for a touchdown.
And we saw exactly what we were looking for in this. Using motion before the play, no one runs with the motion man, so you know you've got zone. And then with 2 high safeties, you've got to attack the middle of the field here. That ball comes out on time to Sam James, splitting those safeties and giving him a great run after catch chance for the touchdown.
KC Legs PAT is good. 9 plays, 75 yards in less than 4 minutes. This is a ball game where you do wonder going in, how much do these teams have left? Both teams have had gut-wrenching, excruciating losses. West Virginia comes out strong on Senior Day with a touchdown.
We mentioned the touchdown there. You saw no one runs with the motion man, so he's got zone coverage. He's got the 2 high safeties, and then he loves the matchup in the slot. Getting one of your better receivers matched up with Anthony Cook, who plays that star hybrid nickel role in there.
Is now wearing number 94
to run in
for
between
Texas.
these split safeties. This is what we talked about. Jarret Doege at his best. To your point, Anish, when he's not standing back there patting the football, saw it, identified with the clear picture, got them on the board.
Evan Staley kicking off for the Mountaineers. Backing for Texas, Rashawn Jamison and Rashawn Johnson.
Evan Staley to kick it away. And here is Jamison. Lost it. Picks it up. Has the 20. Flag down. Jamison across the 30. Let's get the penalty.
Rashawn Jamison on the return for Texas. It's a flag on the play.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 18, return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Texas star running back Bijan Robinson out for the rest of the season after dislocating his elbow last week against Kansas. So they're going to rely on Roschon Johnson and Keelan Robinson to fill that void here today. Roschon will get a majority of the carries, between 15 and 18, which will be more than his season most of 13 in a single game. That's because he's been dealing with turf toe. But guys, he told me his body is ready to carry that extra workload today.
The Bijan Robinson injury, you can't understate it. He accounted for a third of Texas's scrimmage yards this season.
One of the best players in all of college football. Shame we won't get to see him today.
On first down, not much for Roschon Johnson. Into the embrace for Dante Stills, a loss of a yard. This running back room for Texas thinned out. Taylor mentioned Johnson coming back from an injury. Keelan Robinson did not play last week. He was in COVID protocol. And then Jonathan Brooks, who would have been the third back today, he's out.
Not a lot of depth back there, so going to be important to spread this ball out and make sure those carries are timely.
Casey Thompson's throw, it's caught. The tight end, Cade Brewer, he had the game-tying touchdown catch against Kansas at the end of regulation last week. Casey Thompson, in the loss to Kansas, accounted for 7 touchdowns. That tied a 106-year school record. Clyde Littlefield also accomplished the feat in 1915. To the outside, incomplete for Xavier Worthy. The standout freshman was targeted 23 times last week, and it's 3 and out for Texas.
Great start for this West Virginia defense. Steve Sarkisian throws a lot at you, calling the plays for this Longhorns offense here, trying to get the ball to their talented freshmen. And another 3 and out for this team, Anish. The last 4 games, 44% of their drives have gone for a 3 and out, the second worst in Power 5 in that span.
Isaiah Estale, back after missing 2 games, catches the Cameron Dicker punt, a 45-yard kick. West Virginia ball at its own 42. We pay tribute to a Mountaineer legend when we come back.
Wasn't me. You're never responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card.
Welcome to that magic realm. Between here and there, a no man's land, and everyone's land. Where great expectations grow, and rewards are given to the swift, the perceptive, and the daring. The Mazda CX-30 Turbo, with all-wheel drive, more power for your pursuit.
Think outside the oven and get thanks grilling with Ace. Get a Traeger grill to make tasty turkey and desserts. This week, take advantage of great deals on Traeger with free assembly and delivery on all grills $3.99 and up.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
When I look at my ring, I see the moment that he incorporated my dad.
He was there with us because the letter was in my pocket, right next to the ring.
Mr. Cuesta, let me start by saying that you certainly left a mark on this earth. May I marry your daughter? It is more than a ring. It's love.
Express your extraordinary love. Save 20% store-wide. Jared, love brilliantly.
Only Wendy's serves a better breakfast with a better biscuit. A hot, buttery treasure loaded with a fresh cracked egg, cheese, and sausage or bacon. And to top it off right now, they're just $1. $1? Now there's no reason to go somewhere else. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
What is that?
It's Bobanbek.
Give me some.
No. You get Toby back. It's adorable. Just like you.
Toby bag?
Go for the handful.
This is the first photo of your life, son. Your first smile. Your first bath. The room we made for you. And you'll meet Nana and Grandpa. I can't wait for the world to see you. like I do.
ESPN College Football is brought to you by Discover, exceptionally common sense.
Last week, the West Virginia football community lost a legend in Hall of Famer Sam Huff, who passed away. Former West Virginia lineman, a college football and pro football Hall of Famer. He played up front in the trenches with the Mountaineers, originally from the coal mines of Marion County. Goes to the NFL with the Giants initially, where Tom Landry was his defensive coordinator. And Landry had this wild idea. We have a 4-3 defense. Let's make Huff the middle linebacker, and he turned it into a glamour position. Garrett Green, 2 quarterbacks into the game, and West Virginia able to pick up a first down. Winston Wright, second in the conference in receptions. And the Mountaineers offense looking sharp early. And Sam Huff obviously loved and remembered in these parts. Finished his career with Washington, longtime color commentator on the radio broadcasts for Washington. More trickeration, and this time that turns into a huge loss. Back at the 35-yard line, Ben Davis, the Alabama transfer, with the stop. A loss of 16. Little too cute.
A little bit too much, and this is part of the danger. We hear all the time about programs scripting plays to start the game. You've got these drawn up all week. Your first drive went so well, and you think we're going to keep going to some of these things that we had planned here, when what you had last drive, spreading them out, dinking and dunking down the field, worked so well.
2nd and 26. Doege has room to run. Throws incomplete for Letty Brown. And you see how uncomfortable he is getting out of the pocket. The fans saw it too. There was a lot of room to run. Doege misses Brown, who was wide open as well.
Yep, had him streaking down the sideline. Jarret Doege certainly not at his best, rolling out of the pocket, getting on the move here. We saw that as evidenced by their strategy on the first drive. Now we're in screen territory, draw handoff to Letty Brown with 3rd and a country mile up next.
The Mountaineers on their own 37. They need to get to the Texas 37. They'll run it to Brown, who's got a big hole across midfield. It'll bring up 4th down. Brendan Schooler, who's led Texas in tackles the last 2 games, with the tackle. And that trick play really sucked the momentum from an offense that had been moving downfield pretty easily against Texas.
Well, and you went back-to-back trick plays, right? Which you get that pass with Garrett Green first off from Jarret Doege. And so now the defense is on high alert after that, right? You're a little more aware of these trick situations. I question going for both in the same drive.
Sumter sends it away. The dangerous Deshaun Jameson lets it bounce into the end zone for a touchback. Let's check in with the studio.
Anish, Rocket Mortgage Studio update. Number 7, Michigan State. Number 4, Ohio State. Trevor Maddich, C.J. Stroud picking on that Sparty pass defense.
And they have not been going deep to start this game. They've been dinking and dunking, but that time they went vertical.
Chris Olave, 34th career touchdown catch, Anish.
All right, thank you, Kevin. 7-0 here, 7:36 to go. Second drive for Texas after a 3-and-out. And the Longhorns come out with 2 tight ends. Handoff Roschon Johnson. Not much there, a yard, and that's about it. Jackie Matthews came up to make the play. Without Bijan Robinson, how does this Longhorns offense change?
Well, I think they're going to have to pass to set up the run in a lot of ways in the East. You see them go with these 2 tight ends. Steve Sarkisian's going to move guys around with motions, but Xavier Worthy is now your most consistent player. You got to use his gravity to open up rushing lanes that way.
Casey Thompson on the move, pressure coming, and it's dropped by Jared Wiley. And another 3rd down coming up. We were told we would see Jordan Whittington, and he comes into the game 4 in white. This is where he was so crucial before missing the last 4 games with a broken collarbone. Texas's third down struggles have been tied directly to the absence of number 4. He's back into the game, in motion, in the slot, top of your screen, closest to the line of scrimmage. Thompson's pass incomplete. He wanted Worthy. There were 3 blue jerseys around him, and it's 4th down.
Plenty of attention going to be paid to Ayton White. Saw Whittington used as a decoy to try and get Worthy the ball on the first drive here, and there's just no rhythm for this Texas offense right now. We saw the ball coming out of the hands on the other side for Jared Dagey. For Casey Thompson, nothing in the way of a comfort so far.
Dicker punts it away. Estill retreating to the 25. And tackled at the 30, penalty marker down.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 14. Return team, 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
The penalty on Malachi Ruffin. 7-0 West Virginia, Mountaineer ball when we come back.
And it's NBA on ESPN time.
Wednesday on ESPN.
Domino's new oven-baked dips are so new that we made a new commercial about their newness. Try new flavors like our cheesy marinara, baked apple, or hot and melty 5-cheese with our not new but still delicious twists. Carry out Domino's new oven-baked dips and twist combos or any 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each.
On a Suspicious Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Howdy, Logan. Wonder if you can help me out with something.
Sure, Sheriff.
Looking for a couple of goalposts. Went missing after the big win last night.
What? That's awful. Who would steal a goalpost?
Say, that is a nice new swing set you got there.
Oh, this old thing. Well, makes the boy happy, I guess.
Interesting design.
Oh, yeah, it's Scandinavian. You know what? You should check the streakers across the street. They have a very suspicious new antenna.
Thanks for the tip.
Anytime, Sheriff.
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
Welcome to that magic realm. Between here and there, a no man's land, and everyone's land. Where great expectations grow and rewards are given to the swift, the perceptive, and the daring. The Mazda CX-30 Turbo with all-wheel drive. More power for your pursuit.
If Philly Garcia didn't have the fighting spirit to drive his ambition, he never would have left home for LA with only his car to sleep in. If he listened to those who rejected him, he never would have sold that car to pay for his dream. And if he lacked the will to improve his craft, he never would have made a name for himself, lining up some of the biggest names in pro sports. That's the fighting spirit. That's what makes a lion. Modelo, root for...
With the new Sapphire Preferred card, you now earn 5 times total points on travel purchased through Chase.
Like to visit Grandma?
In Mexico City? Yeah, vamos a Mexico.
Can abuela babysit tonight? Claro.
That's what I'm talking about. You also earn 3 times points on dining.
On all this?
Mm-hmm. Live it up.
Even here?
Yep, there too. You two know how to have a night out. And morning. Points on breakfast. Your same getaways are now more rewarding. Sapphire Preferred from Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Some things can't be tried at home.
Where next?
With Capital One, the possibilities are unlimited. Introducing Venture X, our new class of travel card. Earn 10x miles on hotels and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, plus receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. Find your where next with Venture X. What's in your wallet?
Off plus a free footrest. Hey, change happened, and we've made it a good thing with all new LMAX from X-Chair. Now the future feels better than ever before. Order X-Chair with LMAX today. Use code TV and get $50 off plus a free footrest.
There's no doubt it's been a rough road for Texas the last couple of weeks, and this week players were asked why Steve Sarkisian is the guy for the job. Anthony Cook said it best. The messaging hasn't changed. It doesn't matter what's happening on and off the field. His messaging to us remains the same, and that's why the players are confident that this is the guy who can help turn this program around.
First season for Steve Sarkisian. And that is Winston Wright tackled for a loss at the 15-yard line. Pitchforks were out. Texas lost to Kansas last week. It's the one school anybody in the Big 12 can't lose to. 5-game losing streak. But there seems to be a belief. Listen, Steve Sarkisian isn't going anywhere in the short term. There's a lot of faith in him. That was reinforced from the athletic director earlier this week. They've lost a lot of players in their recruiting classes from 2018 and 2019. TJ Banks the catch at the 20-yard line. It'll set up 3rd and long. You get the sense Texas can't keep firing coaches after 3 or 4 years. At some point, they're going to have to give somebody a bit of a leash here.
Well, especially in the transfer portal era, Anish, because now when those moves happen, it's easier for players to have a way to get out of this situation, which I understand. I went through a coaching change. I understand how much that changes life for everyone involved in all this, but now it also puts an even bigger onus on the staff to be able to replace a lot of those bodies that can move around.
Texas wants a timeout. It's granted. 3rd down and 8. Missing key players on defense, getting lined up. That was going to be a challenge this week. We remind you, a lot at stake in college football. You've got Ohio State, Michigan State this afternoon, and then tonight, Oregon and Utah. A lot of folks feel this trip to Salt Lake City is a trap for Oregon, and it could be loss number 2 for the Ducks.
Utah 3-point favorites in this game. But remember, Oregon, for all we've talked about with Joe Moorhead, that's a running group first here. Mario Cristobal's boys up front. Mahler's up for this challenge. That SMU-Cincinnati game, a big one as well down the stretch of the season, as the Bearcats still very much alive in this entire college football playoff scene.
SMU can put up points. Their quarterback is the former Oklahoma transfer, Tanner Mordecai. Look at Oregon and Utah, both 6-1 in the respective divisions in the Pac-12. On 3rd down, Jarrett Doege to the air, steps up, and it's incomplete.
Ruling on the field.
Wanted James, who had the touchdown earlier. Schooler broke it up. It's 4th down. Sumter on to punt.
What a great answer for this Texas defense. You see so much too high that time. They went down, mixed in some man coverage, let these guys get physical with the wideouts, and now have a chance to really flip the field position game for an offense that's gone back-to-back 3-and-outs on their first 2 drives.
Jamison, one of the top return men in the country, waits at his own 40. Texas has a knack for blocking kicks. They ran into Sumter. Is it roughing or running into the kicker? Huge call here. Keelan Robinson came flying in for Texas. 2 flags down. If it's roughing, it's an automatic 1st down.
Anish, you mentioned it. Tied for the NCAA leads with 4 block punts. So they're not afraid to come after it, but high risk, high reward here.
And West Virginia had a punt blocked last week, which Kansas State recovered for a touchdown. Running into the kicker is only a 5-yard penalty. That would make it 4th and 3. Roughing, it's an automatic 1st down.
Running into the kicker, number 7, receiving team. That penalty is declined. 1st down.
So just running into there, and an interesting call. We know this is something that they do well, but based on having West Virginia backed up, and
is that running into the kicker or roughing?
See it again right here. Roughing usually reserved for that bottom leg here.
I'm with you.
In a lot of those situations, hitting that top leg, it looks bad, especially in slow motion here. I think that's the right call, Anish. The punt block in that situation, an interesting question given where you look to get the ball field position-wise.
6 plays, 7 yards for Texas so far. Casey Thompson downfield, incomplete, dropped by Marcus Washington. He was wide open, and Washington coming off a career game, 5 catches, 100 yards against Kansas, including a blocked punt and a missed chance.
And you see him there. He has the double move. He's wide open to that side.
Now that's a play he's got to make.
But this has been Texas offense to start the games. Drops and inconsistency.
3 drops already by Texas. Thompson 1 out of 5. Screen pass to Worthy. And he has put up the best freshman season by a Texas wideout in school history. He has set the school freshman records for receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. In fact, he's 2 receiving touchdowns away from tying the school's single-season record for any player in any class.
Tying Jordan Shipley, a name known well around here. Let's look at Jordan Whittington at the bottom of the formation, singled up. One of their best third down players back this week.
Thompson looking to step up, and he is engulfed in a sea of gold and blue, and it'll bring up 4th down. Josh Chandler-Samito, the first to get in there, 2nd leading tackler in the Big 12, and another 3 and out for Texas.
And it looked like they were trying to set up at the bottom of this with George Whittington, one of those fake wide receiver screens, and then have him release downfield, but nothing there for Casey Thompson. And once the timing of that play is thrown off when you set up a specialty play, no bueno.
Fair catch made by Estelle at the 20 after a 41-yard punt. We kick it over to Kevin in the studio.
Yeah, and Anish, time for our AT&T countdown to the CFP National Championship. Is Oklahoma out of the playoff mix? They can still play for a Big 12 title, Trevor, if Caleb Williams does this.
And this is an answer. I mean, Iowa State had a long grinding touchdown drive, and this is the 2nd play of Oklahoma's opening drive, and they answer.
All tied at 7. Anish.
Oklahoma tumbled in the playoff rankings after a loss to Baylor last week. A season for the Sooners that's been filled with close escapes,
including against these 2 teams.
Yep. Prather, 2nd catch of the game. He's got 3. They feel Caden Prather's got a chance to be special. A 6'4" true freshman. The injury to Estelle opened up some opportunities for Prather. Made the most out of it last week.
You see all the physical gifts here. 6'4", long body, but with a lot of these freshmen, and we've seen this on the offensive line with Wyatt Milam starting on the right side, they want to bring these guys along at a pace where they can digest everything this offense throws at them.
4-man pressure, throw to the outside, too high. He wanted Bryce Ford Wheaton, the 3rd-generation Mountaineer.
And we saw the simulated pressure right there. You bring that 4th body from the field, and Jared Dagey does what you're supposed to do. Throw into where that defender vacates, but got to be more accurate with the balls in this case. Now, let's see if Texas, again, gives their DBs a chance to go man-to-man here and maybe even bring a little pressure to get Jared Dagey off his spot.
Now, they told us they'd want to bring some pressure. It's a 4-man rush. Dagey takes a shot downfield. Ford Wheaton extends and makes the catch. Those 2 really worked in the offseason on the deep ball. It's been much better than it was last year.
And Fort Wheaton does a great job stacking that defensive back, getting in front of him, using the arm not to push off, but to just clear a little space, almost like going up for a layup in basketball. And then the concentration on the other side, a huge break for this Mountaineer offense.
A pickup of 31. Letty Brown up the middle. A yard, maybe 2.
Hand off to Letty Brown.
When you think of this West Virginia team, you do think of Letty Brown first and foremost traditionally, but this season, it has been about those big plays here. Jarret Doege leads the Big 12 with now 37 completions of 20 or more yards. And these receivers dropped for a problem last year, starting to step up more and more as the season goes along.
2 running backs in the game. It's Brown with Tony Mathis. Leddie Brown broke the initial tackle, still fighting, and it sets up a 3rd and 1. Something to watch in this game. West Virginia on the season only averages 1.7 yards after contact. That's 4th worst nationally. Now Texas gives up on average 3 yards after contact. That is 6th worst in the FBS. Something's got to give.
And it's an interesting chess match up front because what you're seeing, we know Steve Sarkisian, a lot of motion on that side. Neil Brown motioning some guys into the box to get them extra hats.
Mathis stays in on 3rd and 1. He gets the call and picks up the first down. One thing this coaching staff has wanted to do this year is take some pressure off of Leddie Brown. The problem is they really haven't found a consistent backup who can be productive.
And so it's now about finding different ways to get him touches. Also wanted to continue to develop him as a receiver. Already 30 receptions on the season, so certainly been a part of it, but just another way to get him the ball without as many tough hits up front running between the tackles.
Winston Wright in motion. Doege's throw incomplete for Prather. Yeah, to your point. Now sacks count against the run game in the statistics, but West Virginia is last in the Big 12 in rushing.
It just hasn't been as consistent up front as they want. They have a lot of trust in the interior 3 on their offensive line. Zach Frazier, who's a real program builder of a leader in the middle of that group. Doug Nestor, the transfer from Virginia Tech. It's on the edges for Brandon Yates on the left side, and Wyatt Milam, we mentioned, just a true freshman getting into now his 6th start.
On 2nd and 10, Brown on the cutback. Right to the line of scrimmage, met by that Texas roadblock. It sets up 3rd and long. Likely 4-down territory here inside the 35. And that may be the final play of quarter number 1. And Texas, for the 3rd straight game, will go scoreless in quarter number 1.
Try and see if you can get him to jump off sides here and get a cheap one.
This is the end. 1st quarter. Timeout on the field.
The Longhorns managed just 11 total yards in that 1st quarter. Jarret Doege slinging it early, 10 out of 15 for 108 yards. And a touchdown to Sam James.
What's strong with me?
What's strong with me?
What's strong with me? What's strong with me?
What's strong with me?
With me.
With me!
What's strong with me?
What's strong with me?
What's strong with me?
With me.
With me.
Baby got back.
Unlimited cashback match. Only from Discover. Welcome to Allstate, where we have all new lower auto rates. And savings like that will make everyone feel like an MVP. Now get new lower auto rates with Allstate. Because better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click or call for a lower auto rate today.
I need 3 garlic butter bacon burgers.
Coming right up.
Will someone grab me some more cheese? Keep that garlic butter coming.
Burger up.
Order up. Sonic garlic butter bacon burger.
Pass the pants. Share the shirts. Hand out the hats. Fork over the flannels. Deliver the denim. And bestow the briefs. Gift the whole gang. And load up on all of the Mary you can carry. Only at Duluth Trading.
Welcome to that magic realm. Between here and there. A no man's land. An everyone's land. Where great expectations grow. And rewards are given to the swift, the perceptive, and the daring. The Mazda CX-30 Turbo with all-wheel drive. More power for your pursuit.
Got what's running through these veins. Make way for the king.
Seven 0 West Virginia. The Mountaineers scored on their opening drive. Texas has gone 3 and out on all 3 of its drives. 3rd down and 10 to go. The Mountaineers inside the Longhorns' 35-yard line. Letty Brown split wide, empty set.
Man coverage for Jared Dagey.
4-man rush on the slant. That's complete. 1st down and more. Isaiah Estelle, back after missing 2 games, picks up 17.
Great job identifying the matchup that you like there.
And DeMarvion Overshown makes the tackle. We were told he was not going to play. He's given it a go today, and hey, they get 60% of him out there as he goes to the sideline. That's a boost. He is their best linebacker, a unit that is thin, depth-wise and talent-wise.
Yeah, we talked about Jalen Ford and some of those other younger bodies out there, still learning how they fit in this defense. Overshown's presence out there just as much about the neck up as anything else.
Letty Brown, B-Button's out of trouble. Took a big hit near the 15-yard line. We get a penalty marker.
B.J. Foster with the tackle. Flag on the play.
Personal foul, targeting, number 25, defense, leading with the front of his helmet. The previous play is under further review.
So that's B.J. Foster. And if the targeting is upheld, he would be ejected from the game. Foster is senior. We told you there's been some injuries in that secondary, namely Josh Thompson, their best corner, out for the season. Now, Brown in that case is not a defenseless player, so what you're looking for is leading with the crown of the helmet, and it's pretty clear from there that Foster led with the crown of the helmet.
And this is one of the difficult spots for me, Anish, because he leads with the crown of the helmet, but so does Letty Brown as a rusher here. He's trying to go low in this spot here. Letty Brown also dips here, and so that's the reason.
After review, there is no foul for targeting. 1st down.
Yeah, did Foster turn his shoulder? We couldn't quite tell from this angle.
I don't think you really had a launch or anything like that. He turned to the side enough. And again, I think Letty lowering his head to meet him is something we've got to start to consider.
2nd down.
In a lot of these.
2nd down.
So no targeting, the call reversed. It'll bring up 2nd down. A gain of 2 on the play. Red zone opportunity for West Virginia. Tony Mathis in at running back. Estelle lined up at the top of your screen, number 9 in blue. Here's the blitz. Dagey looking for Winston Wright. Back in the end zone. Touchdown, West Virginia.
Rolling on the field, a touchdown.
Boy, Jared Dagey has had some errant throws today, but when it's mattered down in the red area, these balls have come out on time. We'll make sure Wright got that foot down in the back of the end zone here. And that appears pretty clear. Possession, that right foot down before the corner pylon. What an outstanding corner ball heading towards that pylon from Jarret Doege.
A penalty before the kick.
Prior to the snap, ball start, number 92, offense, 5-yard penalty, replay the try.
Gotta love the kicker matchup today. Casey the leg, and Dicker the kicker.
It's the stuff you dream about for the brand. Pat McAfee smiles somewhere in the distance.
14-0 West Virginia. 11 plays, 80 yards. Doege to right. Second touchdown pass for Jarret Doege today.
Curve ahead. Hey, buddy, want me to drive?
Why would I want that?
Everyone says you couldn't handle the curve.
Who says that?
Show Tebow a curve, guy falls apart.
Tebow, the curve? No way.
Literally, everyone says that.
They're talking about a different thing.
Okay.
All it takes for the McRib, with its tangy and juicy flavor, to be crowned the most important sandwich of the year is to simply return. The most important sandwich of the year is back. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Join Peyton and Eli.
Some things can't be tried at home.
Where next?
With Capital One, the possibilities are unlimited. Introducing Venture X, our new class of travel card. Earn 10x miles on hotels and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, plus receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. Find your where next with Venture X. What's in your wallet?
Don't settle for products that give you a sort of white smile. Try Crest Whitening Emulsions for 100% whiter teeth. Its highly active peroxide droplets swipe on in seconds and stays on teeth longer to continue whitening long after you apply with virtually no sensitivity. No rinsing, no brushing off. Just apply and go. Try Crest Whitening Emulsions. Better, faster, 100% whiter teeth. Shop CrestWhiteSmile.com.
Thank you. Feel good about your heart health this holiday season with Cardia Mobile. Order yours today for just $69 at cardiamobile.com or Amazon. That's just $69 for a limited time.
Texas has lost 5 in a row. The last time that happened was 1956. That season, Texas lost 8 straight. They finished 1-9, the worst season in school history. Head coach Edwin Price resigned after the season, and the legendary Darrell K. Royal was hired in 1957. The rest, as they say, is history.
Decent.
Short kick. Jamison has 2 kick return touchdowns in his career and brings it out across the 35-yard line. Both of these teams have suffered the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune this year. Texas at one point was 4-1. They were up 28-7 on Oklahoma. They lose that game, and boy, it has turned into an avalanche of disaster. They have not won since. West Virginia had an early season win against Virginia Tech. They pushed Oklahoma to the brink. There was a lot of excitement about what this team could potentially be, but it's been an uneven chutes and ladders type season for the Mountaineers as well. Keelan Robinson in the backfield. He gets the call on first down. Did not play last week while in COVID protocol. A gain of 4 for Robinson, who transferred from Alabama, spent a year in Tuscaloosa with Steve Sarkisian.
And you saw him getting to the edges. They're going to have to try and find ways, jet handoff, something to get away from the teeth of this West Virginia defense. That D-line, the strength for this Mountaineer unit that's one of the better groups in the Big 12.
That 3-yard run gets Texas out of the red in the run game. Incomplete, broken up. Intended for the tight end Brewer, and if Texas does not convert here, it would be 4 consecutive 3-and-outs to start the game.
No Bijan Robinson in the game, Anish. There's been no identity. They don't know who to lean on for a big play, and right now everyone's looking somewhere else. There's got to be a guy that's able to step up and execute and make a play for them at this point.
Jordan Whittington into the game, slot receiver up top. Missed the last 4 with a broken collarbone. He's been their top 3rd down target this year. Thompson throws the other way behind Brewer. It's 4th down, another 3-and-out for Texas. Thompson is just 2 of 8. Drop passes have been a problem. There's been no running game to speak of either.
And we know Thompson dealing with the thumb injury that's been going on for the last few weeks here. So sometimes you'll see these errant balls, but there's been no one open, Anish. And this second level for West Virginia has certainly been banged up in its own right, performing really well so far.
Isaiah Estelle from the 21. Clipped out of bounds at the 25-yard line. West Virginia will look to tack on to a 2-score lead.
You think she's still awake?
Don't worry.
The Lexus RX, built for modern families.
Get 1.9% APR financing on the 2022 RX 350.
There goes my heart beating, 'cause you are the reason. I'd climb every mountain and swim every ocean.
Kiss the people you love. Mark this moment in time and celebrate every kiss.
I'm Jimmy Dean, and thank you very much for letting us become just a little part of your holiday. And we sincerely hope that Jimmy Dean sausage might make your holiday just a little bit brighter. Happy holiday to you.
During Walmart's Black Friday deals for days, there's all the best deals. Score Monday online or Friday in store. This season, head to Walmart's Black Friday deals for days.
Other delivery apps add surprise fees. At Domino's, we're giving out surprise frees instead. When you order delivery online, you could be surprised with free food. I love it! From Domino's.
Welcome to Allstate, where we have all new lower auto rates. And savings like that make you feel like you won the whole dang thing. Now get new lower auto rates with Allstate. Because better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click or call for a lower auto rate today.
You think she's still awake?
Don't worry.
The Lexus RX, built for modern families.
Get 1.9% APR financing on the 2022 RX 350.
Today, West Virginia honored the 2011 Orange Bowl team. 10-year anniversary. The game was played in January of 2012. Clemson was a 3-point favorite. And oh, by the way, West Virginia just scored again. They put up 70 on Clemson, a bowl game record. MVP of the game was Geno Smith. And Taylor McGregor with a member of that Orange Bowl team.
Stedman Bailey, a wide receiver on that team. They just said this score, 70-33, but Clemson was favored. Do you remember what it felt like going into that game when everybody was telling you were going to lose?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, I remember just kind of looking at the numbers, and I'm a guy that tried not to look too deeply into the numbers, but when you have the whole country that's counting you out in a game where we actually deserve to be there, it gave us all the extra fuel we needed to go out and just really dominate the game.
What made that team special?
Well, I think, you know, we were able to gel together well as a team throughout that whole season. We kind of dealt with a little bit of adversity within the beginning part of the season when we had a coaching change, but life is all about adapting, and we were able to do that really well within the season and go on to win the Big East championship, as well as put the icing on the cake by finishing it off by getting a big win down in South Florida for the Orange Bowl.
How did it feel putting up 70 against Clemson?
That's one that I can honestly say I didn't see us. I didn't expect us to score that many points. So I knew that we were a very high-power offense, and we had Geno Smith, Tavon Austin, and guys like myself, and you know everybody that we had on the team played a pretty key role. But everything just clicked well for us that night. On all three phases of the ball, we had special teams. We were able to put up some points, offense and defense both. So it just was an all-around good night for us, and just a good night to be a Mountaineer for everybody, wherever you are.
How does West Virginia get back there?
Well, I think that for the most part, we just got to maybe get back to recruiting. I think it's a recruiting thing right now where when I played, we had a pretty decent pipeline of guys coming up here from Florida. I'm not sure, but I think having myself come back to town and a lot of these guys who also played in the Orange Bowl team give these guys motivation to do what we're doing here now. We're up 14-0 against Texas, so hopefully stuff like that can help.
Appreciate your time. Anish?
On third down, Daggy misses Estelle. And some extracurriculars there in the backfield. It looked like Moro Ojimo getting into it with one of the West Virginia linemen, Wyatt Milam. Now that Orange Bowl team was the last year for West Virginia in the Big East. They go to the Big 12, started 5-0 in 2012. In fact, that fifth win was against Texas. Then the wheels kind of came off late in that season.
Just a bit, but what an electric group offensively. Geno Smith running point guard for that team with some outstanding stuff.
Punt coming by Sumpter.